Anna Hayes pushed her worn-out luggage cart along the busy airport corridor. Her round belly reminded her she was 8 months pregnant, and every step felt heavier than the last. In front of her, Lucas, her 3-year-old son, giggled as he held tightly to his small toy airplane. She tried to smile despite the exhaustion, but the anxiety in her chest would not leave. Airports were always chaotic. People rushed past her. Announcements echoed across the high ceilings, and the scent of coffee mixed with the faint smell of cleaning agents. Anna had traveled often, but this time was different. Traveling alone with a toddler in her advanced pregnancy made every little obstacle feel like a mountain. "Lucas, hold my hand," she said softly, bending down to grab his tiny fingers. "We have to be careful, okay?" Lucas giggled and nodded, though his small hand fidgeted as he tried to adjust his toy plane. Anna's heart ached a little at how small he still seemed, how fragile. She knew she had to be extra cautious today. She maneuvered the cart toward the security checkpoint, keeping a careful eye on the people around them. Families pushed strollers, travelers pulled rolling suitcases, and children ran past with squeals of laughter. She tried to stay focused, but the constant noise and movement made her stomach twist in nervous tension. Then, suddenly, a sharp, loud bark pierced through the hum of the airport. Anna froze. Lucas looked up, startled, clutching his toy plane to his chest. The bark came again, louder, more aggressive. Anna's heart leaped. She turned her head slowly and saw a K9 unit approaching, a large German shepherd with a shiny black and tan coat. Its ears were perked, teeth slightly bared, and its body tense. The dog's eyes locked on Lucas. Anna's chest tightened. "Oh no," she whispered. She bent down slightly, instinctively putting herself between the dog and her son. "Ma'am, please step back," one of the security guards shouted. His voice was firm but calm, trying to keep both her and the dog safe. Anna's mind raced. She knew K9 dogs were trained for safety, for sniffing out explosives or threats. But this was a mother and her child. There was nothing dangerous about them. Yet the dog continued barking, each bark echoing through the crowded terminal. Lucas whimpered, pressing himself closer to his mother. "Mommy, scary dog," he whispered. Anna forced a reassuring smile, though her heart pounded in her chest. "I know, baby. It's okay. Mommy's here." She wrapped an arm around him, gently pushing him behind her body. The dog lunged slightly, barking ferociously. But the handler, a man in uniform, quickly pulled it back with a strong leash. Officer Daniel Brooks, the K9 handler, knelt down, trying to calm the German shepherd. "Easy, Rex, calm down, boy," he murmured. But Rex, the dog, refused to relax. Its growl rumbled low, and its eyes stayed fixed on Lucas, not Anna. Anna felt a surge of panic. People around them began to whisper. Some stepped back, others pulled out their phones to record the unusual scene. A woman with a stroller muttered under her breath, "Why is that dog acting like that?" Anna tried to explain, her voice shaking. "He's just a child." "Please, it's just my son. I'm pregnant, please." But her words seemed to have no effect. The dog's barking grew louder, more urgent, as if trying to send a warning. Anna's mind raced with questions. Why was the dog acting this way? Was there something wrong with Lucas? Daniel exchanged a glance with another officer who had just arrived. "This isn't normal," he said quietly. "Rex isn't just barking. He's focused. He's sensing something." Anna's stomach tightened even more. "Sensing what?" she asked, her voice trembling. "It's a child." "He's just a little boy." The officer shook his head. "Sometimes these dogs can detect things we can't see. Signs of illness, distress, or danger." Anna swallowed hard, her pulse racing. Could something be wrong with Lucas? She had felt him move a little less today, but she had shrugged it off, blaming fatigue. Now, standing in the middle of the airport with a K9 barking at her child, doubt and fear flooded her mind. She crouched slightly, keeping her body between Lucas and the dog. "It's okay, Lucas, don't be afraid. Mommy's here," she whispered. Her voice was soft but steady, trying to mask the panic rising inside her. Anna's heart ached at his small voice. She stroked his hair gently. "I know, sweetie. I know, we'll be okay. Mommy won't let anything happen to you." Daniel and his colleague knelt nearby, speaking softly to Rex. Good boy, calm down," they murmured. But the dog's gaze never wavered. It was as if Rex knew something that no one else did. Anna took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. She had to stay calm, for Lucas. She scanned the crowd, hoping someone could explain this strange behavior. People were staring, some whispering theories, others clearly concerned. A man with a briefcase muttered, "Why won't they control the dog? That kid's tiny." Anna shook her head slightly, feeling both embarrassed and frightened. She wanted to pull Lucas out of the crowd to leave the airport entirely, but she knew it wasn't that simple. They had a flight to catch, and she had to remain composed. Minutes felt like hours. Lucas clung to her, shivering slightly from fear. Anna's own body was trembling, not just from exhaustion but from anxiety. She could feel the sweat on her forehead and the tightening of her stomach. Finally, Daniel spoke again, this time a little louder so Anna could hear. "Ma'am, I need you to stay calm and let us handle Rex. He's reacting to something unusual." Anna nodded slowly, trying to trust him, though fear still gnawed at her chest. Okay. I'll stay calm, please. Just make sure he doesn't hurt my son." Daniel gave her a reassuring look. "He won't, he's trained. But he's trying to alert us to a problem. We need to figure out what it is." Anna's mind raced with every possible scenario. Could Lucas have swallowed something dangerous? Was he sick? Or was this just a mistake, a random moment of aggression from a dog? The questions spun in her head, each one making her stomach twist further. She felt a gentle squeeze from Lucas's hand. He looked up at her with wide, trusting eyes. "Mommy, we okay?" Anna forced a small smile, fighting back tears. "Yes, sweetie. We're okay. Mommy's right here. We'll be okay." The airport seemed to fade around her, the crowd blurring as she focused on Lucas and the dog. There was something about Rex's intensity that made her uneasy, but she also felt a strange sense of hope. The dog wasn't just attacking, they were trying to communicate, to warn. But warn about what? Daniel spoke softly to her. "Sometimes these dogs have instincts that are beyond our understanding. If Rex is reacting this way, we need to take it seriously." Anna nodded, her heart pounding. She didn't fully understand what was happening, but she knew one thing. She had to stay calm, protect her son, and trust that help was near. She adjusted Lucas in her arms slightly, holding him close. "It's okay, baby. Just hold on a little longer. Everything's going to be okay." The German Shepherd continued to bark, its growls low and deep echoing through the terminal. People around them began to step back, giving Anna and Lucas space. Some murmured their amazement at the dog's behavior. Others looked concerned. Anna felt a mix of emotions, fear, confusion, and an odd sense of awe. There was something remarkable about the way the dog could sense danger before anyone else. Something that humans could not detect. Minutes passed like hours, and Anna held her breath, waiting for the next move. She clutched Lucas tighter, whispering reassurances even as her own fears raged inside her. Finally, Daniel spoke again, his voice calm but urgent. "We need a doctor here. I think the dog is reacting to a medical issue." Anna's heart skipped a beat. "A medical issue? With Lucas?" she asked, voice trembling. Daniel nodded. "We'll figure it out. Just stay with him. You're doing great." Anna nodded, tears welling in her eyes. She looked at Lucas, his small face confused but trusting. She whispered again, "Mommy's here. We'll get through this together." For the first time in the chaos, Anna felt a tiny spark of hope. The dog's fierce bark was not a threat, it was a warning. And somehow she felt that warning might save her son. The loud noises, the barking, the flashing eyes of strangers, it all faded into the background as she focused on Lucas. She realized that in moments like this, courage was not about being unafraid. It was about standing strong for the people you loved the most. And Anna Hayes, exhausted, anxious, and pregnant, knew she would stand as long as it took. Anna Hayes's heart raced as she held Lucas close. The German Shepherd Rex still barked fiercely, refusing to relax. His growls echoed off the high ceilings of the airport terminal, sending a ripple of tension through the crowd. People whispered, some curious, others fearful, while Anna struggled to calm her trembling son. "Mommy, dog's scary," Lucas whispered again, burying his face into her chest. His small hands clutched her shirt tightly, and Anna felt her own chest tighten in response. She had never seen a dog react this way before. Even though she knew canines were trained for special tasks, nothing had prepared her for this. Officer Daniel Brooks, kneeling beside Rex, tried to soothe the dog with soft words and a gentle touch. "Easy, Rex. Calm down, boy. You're okay." But Rex's ears stayed perked and his eyes never left Lucas. His posture was tense, every muscle alert, as if he sensed something invisible yet dangerous. Anna's stomach sank. Why was the dog so fixated on her son? Lucas was just a toddler, full of energy, curiosity, and innocence. Nothing about him could seem threatening to anyone, much less a trained canine. Her mind raced with possibilities, none of which brought comfort. "Ma'am, please remain calm," Daniel said gently. He noticed the worry etched on her face. "Rex isn't attacking. He's alerting us. Sometimes these dogs can detect things humans cannot." Anna blinked, confused. "Detect things? What do you mean?" "He's just a child." Her voice wavered, her anxiety spilling over. "I don't understand. Why is he acting like this?" Daniel exchanged a brief glance with his colleague, Officer Paula Simmons, who had arrived moments earlier. "It's unusual," she said quietly. "Dogs like Rex are trained to sense danger or medical distress. If he's reacting this strongly, it's not random." Anna felt a chill run down her spine. She glanced at Lucas, who now peeked out from behind her shoulder, his eyes wide and innocent. She ran a hand over his hair, trying to reassure him while her own thoughts spun in panic. Could something be wrong with him? Was he sick or hurt? The crowd around them grew restless. Some people pulled out their phones to record the unusual scene, while others whispered to each other in confusion. A businesswoman with a briefcase muttered, "Why can't they control that dog? He's barking at a child." Anna's pulse raced faster. She bent down slightly, keeping Lucas behind her as a shield. "It's okay, baby. Mommy's here. Don't be afraid," she whispered, forcing her voice to stay calm even though her hands trembled. Daniel noticed her anxiety. "Ma'am, please let us handle this. Rex is alerting us for a reason. We need to take it seriously." Anna nodded slowly, swallowing hard. "Okay, I'll stay calm. But please don't let him hurt Lucas." Daniel gave her a reassuring glance. "He won't, you're safe. But stay with your son and don't make sudden movements. Rex is trying to communicate something." Anna's mind raced. Communicate something? How could a dog communicate something important without words? Her heart thumped as she realized the dog might be trying to warn them about something dangerous, something unseen. "Lucas, hold Mommy's hand tightly, okay?" she said softly. He nodded, still clutching his toy airplane as if it were a shield. Anna tried to focus on the gentle rhythm of his breathing, using it to calm herself. Meanwhile, Daniel spoke quietly into his radio, requesting medical personnel to be on standby. He and Paula continued to kneel near Rex, keeping the dog calm but alert. Despite their efforts, Rex's growls remained low and insistent, a steady warning that something was wrong. Anna felt her stomach twist. She had been so focused on navigating the airport, catching the flight, and managing her pregnancy that she had not considered the possibility of a medical emergency. Could her child be in danger without her knowing? The thought made her hands tremble. Minutes felt like hours. Lucas fidgeted against her, and Anna whispered small reassurances, trying to mask her fear. "We'll figure this out, baby. Mommy won't let anything happen to you." The crowd began to sense the seriousness of the situation. Some stepped back, giving Anna space, while others continued to watch in quiet awe. Many had never seen a canine react with such intensity, especially toward a small child. Finally, Daniel spoke again, kneeling closer to Anna. "Ma'am, we think this could be a medical issue. The dog reacts to subtle signs that aren't visible to the human eye. It could be illness, distress, or a danger you can't see." Anna's heart skipped a beat. "Medical issue? With Lucas?" Her voice trembled, and she pressed her hand over her mouth. Fear and relief collided in a strange mix inside her. Paula nodded. "We've called for medical personnel. They should be here any moment. You're doing the right thing by staying calm." Anna swallowed hard, trying to steady her racing thoughts. She adjusted Lucas in her arms, holding him close. "It's okay, baby. Just a little longer. Mommy's right here. We're safe," she whispered, though every word felt heavy with worry. She looked around, noticing the people who had gathered. Some were whispering encouragement. Others were quietly observing the dog's unusual behavior. For the first time, Anna realized how extraordinary this situation was. This was more than a simple bark or an aggressive display. Rex's behavior had a purpose. It was a warning, a signal, and it might just save her child. Anna smiled softly, fighting back tears. "Yes, sweetie. The dog is okay. He's trying to help us." She felt a strange sense of gratitude toward Rex, the dog who had seemed so frightening just moments ago. His fierce barking had been a lifeline, a warning she could not have perceived. She tightened her hold on Lucas, feeling both fear and hope in equal measure. The sound of approaching footsteps made her look up. Paramedics were pushing through the crowd, a small team moving quickly toward them. Anna felt a wave of relief wash over her, though anxiety still churned in her stomach. Daniel nodded at the paramedics. "Ma'am, stay calm and follow their instructions. Rex has alerted us for a reason and we need to check your son." Anna nodded, her hands trembling as she adjusted Lucas in her arms. She whispered softly to him, "It's okay, baby. Help is here. Everything's going to be fine." The paramedics knelt down, checking Lucas gently. Anna watched anxiously, her heart in her throat. She noticed how calm Lucas remained despite the chaos around him, as if he somehow understood that they were being protected. Daniel stayed close, keeping a watchful eye on Rex. "He's very sensitive," Daniel explained quietly to Anna. "Rex can detect subtle signs of illness or distress. He's trained, but sometimes it's more than training, it's instinct." Anna nodded, her mind trying to process everything. She had always admired the bond between humans and animals, but seeing it in action so vividly left her in awe. Rex's instinct had warned them before any human could even notice a problem. The paramedics worked efficiently, examining Lucas from head to toe. Anna held her breath, every second stretching painfully. She whispered soft words of encouragement, her voice calm and soothing even though her heart raced. After a few tense moments, one of the paramedics straightened and looked at Anna. "Ma'am, your son is safe. He swallowed a small object, but it didn't cause serious harm. We'll need to monitor him, but he's okay." Anna felt a wave of relief crash over her. She hugged Lucas tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Oh, Lucas, I'm so glad you're okay," she whispered. Lucas giggled softly, looking up at her with innocent eyes. Daniel knelt beside them, giving a small smile. Rex did his job. He sensed the danger before anyone else could. "He saved your son." Anna looked at the German shepherd who now sat calmly beside Daniel. She felt a mix of awe and gratitude. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "You saved him. You saved my son." The crowd that had gathered began to disperse, some offering kind words, others quietly watching as the situation resolved. Anna held Lucas close, still trembling slightly, but feeling a deep sense of gratitude for the dog who had barked fiercely and saved her child. For the first time, she truly understood the bond between humans and animals, and how instinct and loyalty could make a difference in life or death situations. She whispered softly to Lucas, "You were brave, and so was our friend here. Everything's going to be okay." Anna knew that this airport, this dog, and this terrifying moment would stay with her forever. It was a story of instinct, courage, and protection, one that reminded her how fragile and precious life could be, and how sometimes help comes in unexpected forms. Anna Hayes held Lucas close, still feeling the tremor of relief after learning he was physically safe. Yet the memory of Rex's fierce barking lingered in her mind. The German shepherd sat calmly beside Officer Daniel Brooks now, but Anna knew the dog's behavior had been no ordinary display. Something deeper, something important had caused it. "Ma'am," Daniel said gently, crouching to meet her gaze. "Rex doesn't just react to things at random. He can sense unusual activity, danger, even subtle medical issues. Today he was warning us before we could see the problem ourselves." Anna nodded slowly, trying to absorb his words. But he was only a little boy. What could he possibly sense? She asked, her voice trembling. She looked down at Lucas, who now clutched her shirt with small, curious fingers. Daniel glanced at his partner, Officer Paula Simmons. "We should explain everything carefully," he said. Then turning to Anna, he added, "Rex reacts to subtle changes in a person's body. Sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's danger in the environment. In your son's case, it seems to have been instinctively protective." Anna's stomach twisted. She had always trusted dogs, but she had never imagined one could sense something invisible, something humans couldn't notice. She bent down, stroking Lucas's hair gently. "So, he really saved you, Lucas. He knew something was wrong before anyone else did." Lucas looked up at her, a small smile forming despite his recent fright. "Dog. Good," he said simply, and Anna couldn't help but laugh softly through her tears. As the paramedics finished checking Lucas, Daniel spoke again. "We'll need to keep a closer eye on your son for the next few hours, just as a precaution. But the immediate danger has passed. Rex's behavior was unusual, but it likely prevented a serious incident. Anna exhaled slowly, letting the tension drain from her body. She felt a mixture of relief, awe, and lingering anxiety. The thought that a dog had been able to sense danger before anyone else was both comforting and astonishing. She glanced around the terminal, noticing how the crowd had begun to disperse. Some people nodded or whispered quietly, clearly impressed by what they had witnessed. She caught a few strangers exchanging looks of admiration toward Rex, who now wagged his tail gently. Paula leaned closer to Anna. "You handled the situation very well," she said softly. "Most people panic, but you stayed calm and protected your child. That made a big difference." Anna forced a small smile. I just did what any mother would do," she said, though her voice was still shaky. She hugged Lucas tighter, grateful for his small, trusting presence. "I'm just glad he's okay." Daniel knelt beside her, looking serious. "There's something else you should know," he said quietly. Anna's heart skipped a beat. She looked at him wide-eyed. "What is it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Daniel gestured toward Rex. "Sometimes these dogs pick up signals from people, or even from their environment, that humans can't notice. Today it wasn't just Lucas's safety. Rex may have detected a potential hazard nearby, something in the airport that could have become dangerous." Anna's eyes widened. "A hazard? What kind of hazard?" Daniel shook his head. "We don't know yet. That's why we take every reaction seriously. Rex's behavior may have prevented a much bigger incident. We're checking the area carefully now." Anna's mind raced. The thought that something in the airport could have been dangerous made her stomach twist. She had been so focused on her son that she hadn't even noticed anything unusual around them. Lucas tugged gently at her shirt. "Mommy and dog help us?" Anna smiled softly through her worry. "Yes, baby. The dog helped us. He was very brave." Daniel spoke again, his tone calm but firm. "You should know, Anna, K9 units like Rex are trained for situations like this. But instinct plays a huge role. Sometimes the dog reacts to things we can't explain scientifically. Today was one of those times." Anna nodded, swallowing hard. She realized that what she had witnessed went beyond ordinary training. Rex's reaction had been precise, almost deliberate, and had likely prevented a serious problem. Paula placed a hand gently on Anna's shoulder. "We know this is a lot to process," she said softly, "but your son is safe and that's what matters most." The dog's instincts were correct. He acted at the right time. Anna's chest tightened as she looked down at Lucas. "I don't know how to thank him. Or you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "You all saved my son today." Daniel smiled faintly. "No thanks are necessary. Rex did what he was trained and born to do. You kept calm and protected your child. That was equally important." Anna felt tears prick at her eyes. She had been terrified moments ago, unsure of what was happening, and now she was filled with gratitude and awe. She looked at Rex, who sat patiently beside Daniel, calm but alert. The dog's loyalty and intelligence left a lasting impression on her. As the tension in the airport slowly eased, Anna allowed herself a moment to breathe. She adjusted Lucas in her arms, watching him clutch his toy plane with a relieved expression. The child seemed to sense the calm that had returned, though his innocent mind could not understand the danger he had just avoided. Daniel and Paula stayed close, ensuring that everything remained secure. "We'll stay near for a while just to make sure there's no further risk," Daniel explained. "Rex has a way of sensing things before humans notice, but we double-check everything for safety." Anna nodded, grateful for their presence. She realized how much trust she had placed in strangers and an animal she had never met before, yet in this moment that trust had been justified. Lucas looked up at her and asked, "Mommy, Rex friend?" Anna laughed softly, feeling a warmth in her chest.
"Yes, sweetie."
"Rex is our friend, a very brave friend." The officers and paramedics worked quietly in the background, checking the area and observing the people nearby. Anna noticed that the tension that had gripped the terminal earlier had lifted slightly, replaced with curiosity and respect for the dog's incredible instincts. As she held Lucas, Anna reflected on the strange and emotional morning she had experienced. She had come to the airport worried about travel, fatigue, and her advanced pregnancy. She had not anticipated that a dog's instincts would save her child, nor that she would witness such a powerful bond between humans and animals. She whispered to Lucas, "You were very brave and so was Rex. We are safe now." Lucas smiled. leaning against her chest. "Brave doggy," he said simply, and Anna felt her heart swell with both relief and affection. Daniel knelt once more beside Anna. Sometimes these situations remind us that instinct, training, and human care can work together to prevent tragedy. You stayed calm and Rex acted. That combination saved your son. Anna nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I will never forget this. Never." She felt a deep sense of respect and gratitude for the dog, the officers, and everyone who had helped protect her child. Paula smiled softly. "You don't have to forget. Today is proof of courage, instinct, and care. It's a story that shows how humans and animals can work together in ways we don't always understand." Anna looked down at Lucas, who now seemed calm and secure in her arms. The terror and confusion of the past minutes felt distant, replaced with a quiet gratitude and awe. She realized that sometimes help comes from unexpected places, and the bonds between humans and animals can be stronger than anyone imagines. As the airport began to return to its usual rhythm, Anna felt a newfound respect for the canine units and the people who worked with them. Rex had not only saved her son but also reminded her of the importance of calmness, trust, and instinct in moments of uncertainty. She whispered softly to Lucas, "We were lucky, baby. Very lucky. And our friend Rex, he is a hero." Lucas hugged his toy plane and nodded, a small smile on his face. Anna felt a wave of relief wash over her. The fear had passed, replaced with gratitude, awe, and a lingering sense of wonder at the instincts of a dog who had barked fiercely to protect a child and his mother. Anna. Hayes tightened her hold on Lucas as the paramedics and medical staff carefully guided them to a quieter area of the airport. Though her heart was still racing from Rex's fierce barking and the crowd's reactions, she felt a cautious sense of relief. Lucas had seemed physically unharmed, but the lingering tension made her anxious. "Ma'am, please sit here for a moment," one of the paramedics instructed. They pointed to a small bench near the medical station. Lucas wiggled slightly, curious but trusting his mother. Anna sat down, keeping him close on her lap. "Lucas, can you sit still for a little bit? Mommy just needs to check you, okay?" she whispered. Lucas nodded, gripping his toy plane, and leaned against her chest. The paramedics knelt in front of them. "We're going to run a few quick checks, nothing scary, I promise," one said kindly. "We want to make sure your little one is completely safe." Anna nodded, though anxiety churned in her stomach. She had a vague sense that something had triggered Rex's alarm, a signal she couldn't see. The thought of what it could be made her hands tremble slightly as she stroked Lucas's hair. One paramedic placed a small pulse oximeter on Lucas's tiny finger. "Let's check his oxygen and pulse," he explained. Lucas looked at her with wide, trusting eyes. "It's okay, baby. Mommy's right here." The machine beeped softly and the readings appeared. The paramedic frowned slightly. "Ma'am, his oxygen is fine, but we noticed something unusual in his breathing pattern. It's subtle, but it could be significant." Anna's chest tightened. "Unusual? What does that mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. The paramedic exchanged a glance with his colleague. "It might be minor, but it could also indicate that he inhaled or swallowed something small that's affecting him internally. We need to take extra precautions and monitor him carefully." Anna felt her stomach flip. Her mind raced, imagining worst-case scenarios. Swallowed something? But he's just a toddler. How would he... Her voice faltered as fear replaced relief. Daniel Brooks stepped closer, his expression calm but serious. "This is why Rex reacted the way he did. Dogs like him can detect subtle distress in humans even when it's invisible to the eye. The dog sensed something wrong with Lucas before anyone else could notice." Anna's eyes widened. "You mean, he saved him again?" Her voice was filled with awe and disbelief. Daniel nodded. "Yes, the dog's instincts are extraordinary. Rex's warning likely prevented a more serious situation. We're lucky you were attentive and stayed calm." Paula Simmons, standing nearby, added, "We see situations like this sometimes. Children are small and vulnerable. Dogs can detect slight changes in breathing, heart rate, or stress signals that humans might not notice. You were in the right place at the right time, and Rex made sure the danger was recognized immediately." Anna's hands trembled as she hugged Lucas tighter. I don't know what to say. He's my little boy, and he's safe because of him. Because of Rex." The paramedics carefully examined Lucas further, asking gentle questions and observing his reactions. They checked his throat, listened to his lungs, and monitored his pulse. Each step was precise and calm, meant to reassure both mother and child. Anna whispered softly to Lucas, "It's okay, baby. You're safe now. Mommy's right here. Nothing's going to hurt you." Lucas leaned against her, trusting completely, unaware of the near danger he had just avoided. After a few moments, the paramedic spoke again. "Ma'am, we believe your son might have swallowed a small object earlier, possibly while playing. It hasn't caused severe harm yet, but it could have become serious if unnoticed. The good news is it's minor, and we caught it early thanks to the alert from the K9 unit." Anna exhaled shakily, tears welling in her eyes. She looked at Lucas, who now clutched his toy airplane with a small, curious smile. "You're okay, baby. You're really okay." Daniel knelt down beside her once more. Rex's reaction wasn't just instinct. He was alerting us to a real danger. Sometimes the bond between humans and dogs can save lives in ways we can't fully explain. Today, that bond kept your son safe. Anna looked at the German shepherd, now calm and sitting obediently beside Daniel. She felt a mix of awe, gratitude, and humility. I will never forget this," she whispered, brushing a strand of hair from Lucas's forehead. "Thank you, Rex. Thank you for protecting my son." Paula smiled softly. It's moments like these that remind us how important these dogs are, and how much they can perceive beyond human senses. You were in the right place at the right time, Anna, and your calmness made a big difference too. Anna felt her heart soften. She realized that fear had dominated the first moments, but trust in the dog, the officers, and herself, had kept her son safe. She hugged Lucas gently, whispering reassurance, and allowed herself a moment to breathe. Lucas looked up at her with wide eyes. "Mommy, doggy help?" Anna smiled through her tears. "Yes, sweetie. Doggy helped. He kept you safe." Daniel and Paula stood nearby, quietly observing to ensure no further issues arose. The airport, which had seemed chaotic just minutes ago, had returned to a quieter rhythm. People resumed their walking, some glancing at the scene with curiosity, others whispering about the incredible K9. Anna felt a wave of gratitude as she reflected on the experience. It wasn't just the dog's instincts that had saved Lucas. It was also her own calm and attention to her child. She realized how fragile and precious life could be, and how quickly danger could appear, even in ordinary places. The paramedics gave Anna and Lucas a small checklist for monitoring him over the next few hours. "Keep an eye on his breathing and energy level. If anything seems off, seek medical help immediately," they instructed. Anna nodded, taking mental notes while keeping her son close. Lucas hugged her tightly. "Mommy's safe," he whispered. "Yes, baby." "We're safe," she whispered back, kissing his forehead. She felt an immense wave of relief wash over her. The fear and tension that had dominated the last hour began to fade, replaced with gratitude and awe for the dog who had sensed the danger. Daniel knelt down beside her once more. Rex's instincts are remarkable. Not every K9 would have reacted in the same way. Today we saw a true demonstration of how these dogs can make a difference in seconds, even when humans are unaware of the danger. Anna nodded slowly, her eyes following Rex, who now wagged his tail gently. "He's amazing. I don't even know how to describe what he did. He saved my son and gave me a chance to protect him too." Paula smiled. "You were calm, attentive, and protective. That combination made a huge difference. The dog alerted us, but your care kept Lucas safe in the moment." Anna felt a profound sense of humility. She realized how much trust she had placed in strangers and an animal she had never met, and how that trust had been justified. She looked down at Lucas, who now seemed curious and calm, and whispered softly, "We were very lucky, baby. Very lucky." The airport slowly returned to its usual rhythm, but Anna knew this experience would stay with her forever. She had witnessed the incredible instincts of a K9, the skill and care of the officers, and the fragile bravery of her child. She whispered to Lucas, brushing his hair gently, "Doggy helped us and we're safe now. Remember that, baby. We were brave together." Lucas hugged her, smiling faintly, and Anna felt a deep sense of gratitude. The fear and chaos of the morning had been replaced with a quiet, emotional understanding of how life could be preserved through instinct, courage, and care. For Anna Hayes, this was a moment she would never forget, a story of survival, vigilance, and the extraordinary bond between humans and animals. Rex's fierce barking had been more than a warning. It had been a lifeline, and she would always remember the day a canine dog saved her son in the midst of chaos. The airport had begun to settle back into its usual rhythm, the hum of announcements and footsteps filling the terminal once more. Yet for Anna Hayes, the events of the morning lingered like a vivid memory she couldn't shake. She held Lucas close, feeling his small warmth against her chest, and reflected on the extraordinary moment they had just survived. Lucas played quietly with his toy airplane, occasionally glancing up at Rex, who sat faithfully beside Officer Daniel Brooks. The dog's calm posture now seemed almost gentle, a stark contrast to the fierce barking and growls that had filled the terminal only an hour ago. Anna smiled softly, a mixture of awe and relief washing over her. "Lucas," she whispered, brushing a strand of hair from his forehead. "We were very lucky today. Do you know why?" Lucas shook his head, his small eyes wide. "Doggy. Help," he said simply. "Yes, baby," Anna replied softly. "Rex helped us. He knew something was wrong before we did. He saved you, and he saved Mommy, too." Daniel Brooks knelt down beside them, his expression serious but kind. "Ma'am, your calmness made a huge difference," he said gently. "Rex alerted us to the potential danger, but your composure kept your son safe while we checked everything. That's an important part of the story that often gets overlooked." Anna nodded, feeling a lump form in her throat. I just tried to stay calm. I didn't know what was happening at first, but I knew I had to protect Lucas." Her voice trembled, carrying both emotion and gratitude. Paula Simmons smiled softly. "And you did it perfectly. That combination, your care and Rex's instincts, saved your son today. Moments like this remind us why these canine units are so vital." Anna's gaze shifted to Rex, who now wagged his tail gently, eyes bright and intelligent. She crouched slightly and spoke softly to the dog. "Thank you, Rex, you were so brave. You saved my baby." Lucas giggled softly, reaching out to pat the dog's head. "Good doggy," he whispered. Rex leaned slightly into the child's touch, a subtle acknowledgement of their shared bond. Anna felt tears prick at her eyes, witnessing this quiet, innocent moment of trust and gratitude. Daniel glanced around, ensuring the area was secure, before addressing Anna again. "We've seen dogs detect danger in ways humans cannot. Today, Rex's instincts were spot on, but it's also your awareness and calmness that made the outcome safe. You worked together as a team." Anna exhaled slowly, her chest still tight with emotion. "I can't believe this happened. I can't believe he reacted like that. I've always loved dogs, but I've never seen anything like this." Paula nodded. "It's remarkable, isn't it? Dogs like Rex are trained, yes, but instinct is what really sets them apart. They can detect subtle changes in behavior, scent, or even energy. They often know danger before humans do." Anna hugged Lucas tightly, feeling both relief and a lingering awe. "I will never forget this, Paula." "Daniel, never. I'm so grateful." Daniel gave a small smile. "We're glad everything turned out safe." "That's the most important thing." The paramedics approached once more, checking Lucas one last time. "Everything looks fine for now," one said gently. "Just continue to watch for any unusual signs, but he seems perfectly healthy. He's lucky, and so are you." Anna nodded, feeling the weight of relief settle in her chest. "Thank you. Thank you so much," she whispered. She looked at Lucas, who now clutched her shirt and smiled softly. "You're okay now, baby. Mommy's right here and everything is safe." Lucas giggled softly. "Doggy, hero?" he asked. Anna laughed softly, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Yes, baby. Rex is our hero, and you were brave too." Rex's ears perked slightly at the word hero, and he leaned toward Lucas again, a gentle acknowledgement of his role. Anna felt an immense gratitude for the dog, the officers, and the paramedics, realizing how rare and extraordinary this moment had been. Daniel spoke quietly. "If you'd like, we can arrange for you to officially meet Rex's handler and learn more about him. Many families like yours find comfort in understanding the dog who protected them." Anna's eyes brightened. I would like that very much. I want Lucas to know how special Rex is. I want him to understand how brave and smart he was." Paula smiled. "That's a wonderful idea. It's important for children to see the bond between humans and animals, and how much trust and instinct can save lives." Anna took a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. She looked at Lucas, who now seemed more relaxed and curious, and whispered softly, "We were very lucky, baby. Remember this moment." Lucas hugged his toy plane again, a small smile on his face. "Lucky doggy," he said. Anna's lips curved into a smile, tears still brimming. Yes, baby, lucky. And grateful. The officers and paramedics began to prepare for their departure, having ensured that the immediate danger had passed and that Lucas was safe. Anna stood, lifting her son carefully into her arms. She felt a wave of gratitude for everyone who had helped protect them, the K-9 unit, the officers, and the medical staff. Daniel crouched slightly to meet Anna's gaze. Take care of each other, he said kindly. And remember today, the instincts of a dog, the vigilance of humans, and your calmness all work together to prevent something serious. Anna nodded, feeling the weight of his words. We will never forget, she whispered. I'm so grateful for Rex, for all of you. Lucas leaned against her, his small hand brushing Rex's fur once more. Bye, doggy, he said softly. Rex gave a small wag of his tail as if acknowledging the farewell. Anna smiled warmly, feeling the profound bond that had formed in such a short but intense time. She realized that this moment would remain with her forever, a story of bravery, instinct, and human care working together in perfect harmony. As the airport slowly returned to normal, Anna felt a deep sense of reflection. She had come expecting a routine trip, worried about travel and her pregnancy. But instead she had witnessed an extraordinary display of loyalty, intelligence, and courage. She hugged Lucas tightly, whispering, We are safe, and we are lucky. Lucas smiled faintly, leaning against her chest, and Anna allowed herself a moment of calm gratitude. She looked around at the quieted terminal, the departing crowd, and Rex sitting faithfully beside Daniel. Everything had returned to ordinary life, yet the memory of this extraordinary moment would remain vivid forever. She whispered again, softly, to Lucas, We were brave together today, baby. And our friend Rex Lucas nodded, smiling at the dog, and Anna felt a sense of closure. The fear, tension, and uncertainty had passed. What remained was awe, gratitude, and the emotional bond forged in the midst of crisis. As she held her son and prepared to continue their journey, Anna realized that life was fragile. Moments were precious, and sometimes heroes come in unexpected forms. Rex had been more than a dog. He had been a protector, a lifeline, and a reminder of the extraordinary ways instinct and care could intersect to save a life. Anna whispered softly one last time, Thank you, Rex. You will always be our hero. Lucas reached out to pat the dog's head gently, and Anna smiled through tears. Yes, baby. Always our hero. The airport continued its usual rhythm, the echoes of footsteps and announcements filling the air. Yet for Anna and Lucas, this was a moment forever engraved in their hearts, a story of bravery, instinct, and an unwavering bond that had turned a terrifying morning into one of gratitude, reflection, and profound awe. The airport had returned to its normal rhythm, but Anna Hayes felt that nothing would ever seem ordinary to her again. She held Lucas in her arms as they slowly walked toward the exit, her thoughts heavy with gratitude, awe, and reflection. Every step reminded her of the extraordinary morning they had survived, the day a dog's instincts had saved her child and revealed how fragile life could be. Lucas held his toy airplane tightly, occasionally glancing at Rex, who now walked calmly beside Officer Daniel Brooks. The dog's presence was comforting, a quiet reminder of the bravery and intelligence that had protected them. Anna smiled softly, watching the subtle bond between her son and the dog. Even in these ordinary moments, she could see the trust and connection that had formed in the midst of chaos. Mommy, doggy go home? Lucas asked, his small voice curious and hopeful. Anna laughed softly, brushing his hair gently. Not yet, baby. Rex has to finish his work with the officers, but soon we can say goodbye properly. He's our hero, and we will always remember him. Daniel glanced down at Anna and Lucas, his expression calm but kind. It's important for families like yours to understand what happened today. Rex's instincts prevented a potential emergency. You and your son stayed calm, and that combination saved the day. Anna nodded, swallowing hard. I don't even know how to describe how grateful I am. I will never forget this. Paula Simmons, walking slightly behind, smiled. You don't have to describe it. Just remember it. Today is proof of courage, instinct, and the bond between humans and animals. You'll carry that memory with you forever. Anna held Lucas closer, feeling a wave of warmth. I already do, she whispered. Every moment, every second. I can feel it. As they approached the airport exit, the sunlight streamed through the large windows, bathing the terminal in a gentle golden glow. The ordinary world outside seemed brighter, almost as if it recognized the extraordinary events that had unfolded inside. Anna inhaled deeply, letting the fresh air fill her lungs, and felt a sense of calm she hadn't experienced since the panic began. Lucas reached out his small hand toward Rex. "Bye, doggy," he whispered. Rex leaned slightly toward the child, tail wagging gently, acknowledging the farewell. Anna smiled softly, tears pricking her eyes. "Goodbye, Rex. Thank you for everything. You were our hero today." Daniel patted Rex lightly on the head. "Rex did his job well," he said. "But today it wasn't just his instincts. It was your calmness and attentiveness, Anna. That's why this ended safely." Anna exhaled slowly, feeling a mix of relief, gratitude, and reflection. She realized that while the dog had saved her child, she had also played an essential role. Her presence, vigilance, and care had worked alongside Rex's instincts to protect Lucas. It was a team effort, one that would remain in her heart forever. Paula smiled warmly. "We see this often. Families underestimate the role they play in such situations. Your care made a difference, Anna. You were brave." Anna hugged Lucas tightly, whispering, "We were brave together, baby. You were brave too." Lucas giggled softly, leaning against her chest, a small smile on his face. As they stepped outside the terminal, Anna felt the weight of the morning begin to lift. The fear, the uncertainty, and the tension had been replaced with a deep sense of gratitude and awe. She realized how quickly life could change, how fragile moments were, and how courage and instinct could turn potential disaster into safety. Lucas looked around, his small eyes bright with curiosity. "Mommy, fly?" he asked, pointing toward the planes outside. Anna smiled, brushing his hair gently. "Yes, baby. We will fly soon safely, and we have our hero Rex to thank for keeping us safe today." Daniel and Paula exchanged a glance, recognizing the quiet triumph in Anna's voice. "You'll carry this experience with you," Daniel said softly. "It will remind you that courage, calmness, and instinct are powerful, and sometimes the most unexpected heroes can change everything." Anna nodded, feeling the truth in his words. She looked down at Lucas, who now hugged his toy airplane tightly, and whispered, "We were lucky, baby. Very lucky. And we will never forget it." Lucas giggled softly, looking up at Rex one last time. "Doggy, hero," he said. Anna smiled through tears, feeling a profound gratitude. "Yes, baby. Always our hero. Always." As they walked toward the parking lot, Anna reflected on the lessons of the day. She had learned the power of vigilance, the importance of remaining calm in emergencies, and the extraordinary abilities of animals trained to protect and save. But more than that, she had learned that bravery often comes in small moments. An instinct, a calm voice, a reassuring hug that together can make a life-saving difference. She glanced at Lucas, who now pointed toward the planes taking off in the distance. "Mommy, a plane!" "Yes, baby," she said softly. "We'll go fly soon. But always remember, we were brave, we were careful, and we had our hero to help us." Lucas smiled, and Anna felt a warm sense of closure. The terror of the morning had faded, replaced with gratitude, reflection, and an enduring respect for the K9 who had saved her son. She realized that life was fragile, unpredictable, and sometimes astonishingly miraculous. They reached their car, and Anna carefully buckled Lucas into his seat. As she watched him settle, she felt a deep sense of protection and responsibility. Today had reminded her how precious every moment was and how quickly circumstances could change. "Mommy, doggy?" Lucas asked again, glancing backward toward the terminal. Anna smiled, brushing a small tear from her cheek. "Yes, baby. Doggy is our hero, and we will always remember him." Daniel and Paula waved as they watched Anna and Lucas drive away. Rex sat obediently beside them, tail wagging gently, a silent acknowledgement of the extraordinary morning. The officers knew that this moment, though over, would remain in the family's hearts forever, a story of instinct, bravery, and gratitude that could never be forgotten. As Anna drove, she reflected on the extraordinary bond she had witnessed. A dog had saved her child, officers had provided guidance and protection, and her calmness had ensured safety. It was a perfect example of how humans and animals could work together in ways that went beyond ordinary understanding. Lucas leaned against her, softly murmuring, "Mommy, safe. Yes, baby, we are safe. Always safe," she whispered. She felt a sense of peace settle over her. The fear had passed, replaced with an enduring respect for life, bravery, and the unexpected heroes that sometimes appear in the most ordinary places. As they drove home, Anna glanced in the rearview mirror and smiled at her son, who now rested quietly, exhausted but safe. She thought of Rex, Daniel, Paula, and the paramedics, heroes in their own right, and felt an immense gratitude that went beyond words. Anna whispered softly to herself, "Thank you, Rex. Thank you for keeping my son safe. Today you were more than a dog. You were a hero." Lucas stirred slightly, murmuring in his sleep, "Doggy, hero." Anna smiled through tears, feeling a profound sense of closure. The day had been terrifying, but it had ended with safety, gratitude, and an unforgettable lesson about bravery, instinct, and care. Life, she realized, was unpredictable. But in moments of uncertainty, courage and trust, combined with the instincts of an extraordinary animal, could make all the difference. And for Anna Hayes and her son, this was a story they would carry in their hearts forever. As the car disappeared down the quiet streets, the airport faded into the distance, but the memory of a fierce bark, a small child's safety, and the heroism of a canine would remain vivid and unforgettable, a story of survival, courage, and a bond that could never be broken.